Hi everyone, and welcome to another Zohar reading for world peace. Today we're going to be reading from this week's portion called Shoftim, or Judges, and without further ado, I'll already show you where you can find that if you wish to read along with us online. So, as usual, we go to our main website, Kabbalah.info. Just show you the screen. And this time you want to go to where it says archive here in the bottom left. It takes you to Kabbalahmedia.info. The archive of the B'nai Baruch Kabbalah Education and Research Institute. Just write the word Shoftim here in search and you'll see the first result there in English. Rashbi, Zohar for All, Volume 8, Shoftim. You click that and then you'll see Kabbalah sources here. You just click Shoftim again and then it'll bring you to the text in English. Alright, so that's how you can follow along if you so wish. Other than that, we'll quickly just say hello as well to everyone who's joined us from all around the world. When we're forming one big group here to come and read this book, which demands us to connect as one big group down here, just like its authors did. So we'll say hello to Carl, greetings from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Sylvie, greetings and shalom from the Netherlands. Rosie from Tennessee. Safe travels to all going to the retreat this weekend. That's right, many people already on the road there right now. Susan, hugs from Toronto. Sean Sachs, love from Melbourne, Australia. Being pretty late there in Melbourne right now. Thanks, Sean, for tuning in. Michaela, hello friends, love and peace from Romania. Francine, prayers for peace from Portland, Oregon. Andrew LeBlanc from Virginia. Tolik from Brooklyn. Anima, hello everyone, love from UK. Patricia from Ohio says hi friends. Eva, shalom from Woodstock, Ontario. To be conscious from Denmark. Messenger Emmet, is it possible to have peace without truth? It's a deep topic. We'll get into questions some other time right now, but let's take your question as one of the many deficiencies with us into this reading, and let's let the light that we attract during the reading start answer these things by bringing us abilities to rise to the levels where we truly see the answers to these things. Christina, love from Romania. Jocelyn, warm greetings from Ontario. Lisbeth, hello from the Netherlands. Monica, love from Monica in the UK. Frederick Ochieng says hi. Sonia says hello from Oslo. Hi Markos from Ireland. It's Kev. How's it going, Kev? Hello from California by Jean. Haruki Magic, hello friends from Romania. Alyona from Russia, Xerxes from Chicago, Dewey from is that Alabama in the USA? Annie from North Carolina, and let's see if we have anyone else here on Facebook. No one writing on Facebook yet. So we'll already start getting into it right after a clip. As usual, we'll see a clip that prepares us for the reading from Kabbalist Dr. Michael Laitman. This one's back from a daily Kabbalah lesson back in 2009. Preparing us for reading the Book of Zohar. So let's hear from our teacher, Kabbalist Dr. Michael Laitman.
Once again, we should mention before we start reading the Zohar that this book was written by a group of Kabbalists, and only in that way, as it was written, can it be understood. Meaning, in order to understand this book, we have to unite, we have to find the points of connection between us. We have to try to reveal the connection between us, because in that connection, we will be able to unravel the book, because everything that the book talks about is found between the souls, between our desires. If we will want to bestow upon each other, our desires will be called souls, and then the connection between the souls is where we reveal the Creator, the light, which ties us together, connects us. And this is what the Book of Zohar talks about. How do we reveal that light? Therefore, we should first think about the unity, the arvut, mutual guarantee, love thy friend as thyself, how to achieve that in order to reveal the Creator. And the Zohar will help us in that.
Zohar for all, Shoftim, Judges, section, he puts down one and lifts up another. Item 1. Judges and officers shall you appoint. In this mitzvah, commandment, he commands to appoint judges and officers, as it is written, but God is the judge. He puts down one and lifts up another. This is because the count of Mem, 40, is Yud, Yud Vav Dalet, whose sum is 20. Afterwards, but God is the judge. He puts down one, Hey Hey de, or Hey Hey of Havaya, and lifts up another, Vav Vav of Havaya. The sentence is in 3 lines that serve as one. The right line leans toward Hesed, and judges the world with Hesed, mercy or grace. The left line leads toward Dinim, judgments, and judges the world in Din, judgment. The middle line decides between them and sustains the illumination of both of them. However, it lowers the illumination of the left so it will shine only from below upwards. At that time, there are no Dinim in it, and he lifts the illumination of the right so it will shine from above downwards, which is the light of Gar. It is written, but God is the judge. Ki, but, is Mem, 40, since the word Ki is 40 in Gematria, since the sum of Yud, Yud Vav Dalet, is 20, since the letter Yud of the word Ki, in its fullness, meaning Yud, is 20 in Gematria, and with the Chaf of the word Ki, it is 40 in Gematria. Mem indicates the right line, Chesed. After the right line implied in the word Ki, judges, God judges, meaning the left line. The right line, Ki, judges the world in Chesed, and the left line, Elokim, judges the world in Din. Following them comes the middle line, which is called this. As it is written, he puts down one is written as this in Hebrew, Hey, Hey. The middle line, which is called this, puts down the Hey, Hey, the left, and the Malchut puts it down so the left in her will shine only from below upwards, only in Vak. And he lifts up another, Vav Vav, meaning he lifts the right line, which illuminates Ziranpin in Hasadim, so it will shine from above downwards in lights of Gar. 4 deaths to some. 2. The subsequent mitzvah is to sentence to the sword, to sentence to strangling, to sentence to stoning, to sentence a sentence of burning. Sentencing to the sword refers to some, as it is written, for my sword has drunk its fill in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Edom, meaning some, Edom's minister. 3. In the sword of the Creator, Yud Dehavaya is the head of the sword. Vav Dehavaya is the corpus of the sword. Hey dehavaya are the two edges of the sword, which are as it is written, justice shall you pursue. This means that two sentences are decided, the sentence from the courthouse above and the sentence from the courthouse below. From this we know that one does not move a finger below until he is permitted from above. The mochin, the zeranpin that appear in the unification of the Shema reading are called a sword, and the Sitra Achra is destroyed by it. The primary disclosure of the mochin is through the bonding of Malchut in Bina, at which time Malchut receives the kelim of Bina. If it were not for that, Zeranpin and Malchut would be unfit for any mochin. This is why Bina and Malchut have the same letter shape, Hey, since they are the same mochin. Therefore, they are of one form at the edge of the sword, but they are regarded as two edges, as in the name, where they are the two letters, Hey. The words Yud dehavaya is the head of the sword. It means that Chokhmah, Yud dehavaya, is the head of everything, giving the mochin to the first Hey, Bina. However, when the mochin are in Yud Hey, they cannot destroy the Sitra Achra because the Sitra Achra does not cling to them, but to Vav Hey. Hence, only Vav Hey can destroy the Sitra Achra. It is written that Vav dehavaya is the corpus of the sword. This is so because Vav dehavaya is the main part of the sword that destroys the Sitra Achra. The Hey dehavaya are its two edges, and through their equivalence of form, the mochin become disclosed. This is why one edge is not enough. Rather, it is specifically two that are required for the edge in Bina to bestow upon the edge of Malchut in a way that the Yud, the beginning of everything, gives to the first Hey, and the Vav, the corpus and the main part of the sword, receives from them, gives to the bottom Hey, and then the making of the sword is completed. It is written, justice shall you pursue. The two edges of the sword are called justice, and those two edges of the sword contain two dinim, two judgments at once. Din from a courthouse above, Bina, and din from a courthouse below, Malchut. This is why it is written that one does not move a finger below by a judgment of the courthouse below, before he is given permission from above through a courthouse above, Bina, since all the mochin in Malchut are received from the Bina, and Malchut has nothing of her own. 4. The sheath of the sword, the vessel in which the sword is placed, is the name Adni. There, in Adni, there are the letters Din, since there are the letters Aleph Din in Adni. In the Shema reading, Havaya is the sword of the Creator. It is said about it, let the high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand. In the righteous one that lives forever, there are 18 blessings. Through the righteous, Yesod de Zeranpin, the Zivug of Zeranpin and Malchut de Gadlut is done, and this is the 18 blessings in the standing prayer. As it is written, my Lord, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. The Yesod opens the Malchut, who is called Adni, and in Yesod the sword enters its sheath, which is Zivug Havaya in Adni, which was done by the Yesod, and the king's wrath subsided. This is so because the Klipot were already rooted out by the unification of the Shema reading, and now, during the standing prayer, they no longer have a hold. the anger subsides, and the two names, Havayadni, unite, meaning a combination of Havaya and Adni. Item 5. The mitzvah of sentencing to strangling. In the punctuation mark, Zarka, there is a line there, and a Yud attached to it, and a line, Vav, that extends from the Yud. It captures the sum in Vav, as it is written, and they carried it on a pole between two. What is the pole of that wicked sum? It is Adam, who is Yud He Vav He, which is 45 in Gematria. And with the 4 letters of Havaya, it is 49, like the 49 letters in the 6 words of the high unification, Shema Israel, and in the 6 words of the lower unification, Blessed be the name of the glory of his kingdom forever and ever, which are Vav, Vav. This is the meaning of, and they carried it on a pole between two, separated from them, without the Aleph in the middle Vav, since there is no unification to the Sitra Achra. Rather, and they carried it on a pole between two, is Sam and his mate, the world of the separated. Item 6. The Hey grip the rope with which he will strangle Sam, meaning the 5 fingers of the right hand and the 5 fingers of the left hand. Vav is the rope, and the Yud is the strangling of Sam and the serpent. The name Havaya is death to the Sam and the serpent, and life for Israel. This is why it is written, See now that I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill other gods in my name, all who do not believe in me, and I make alive those who believe in me and keep my commandments. 7. Sentencing Sam to stoning is with a rock, which is Yud, and throwing it at him with 5 fingers, Hey, the arm, Vav, and the shoulder, Hey. And the thought, which is the explicit name, Yud K Vav K, throws the stone at him. Item 8. Sentencing Sam to burning is by wood, with which to light a fire. Happy is the body which is wood, and whose organs are trees, by which to burn fire, which is a candle of mitzvah in each organ, to burn some through the upper divinity, Bina, with wood, which is Tiferet, and with all the trees which are the Sfirot that are gripped to Tiferet. This is so because when fire of the High One descends on the trees of the offering, as it is written, But the stranger who comes near shall be put to death, for he will burn in the fire. It is written about it, and the fire upon the altar should be kept burning thereby. Happy is he who grips to the tree of life, Ziranpin, with his body and with his organs, which is a candle. Each and every branch is a candle of mitzvah in his 248 mitzvot, which correspond to the 248 organs, a candle of mitzvah for each organ. Item 9. When both of them, the tree of life and the candle of mitzvah, meaning Ziranpin and Malchut, grip the same person, the words, And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed, come true, referring to man. And Sam and the serpent and all his appointees, which are thorns, grip to the man's body and burn, while the branches of the bush, its fruits, and the leaves do not burn. This is what the Creator showed Moses. Item 10. Israel are dry wood in the Torah because they grip to the fire of a layperson and are therefore unworthy of having a miracle done to them. As soon as Moses came down to them with the Torah, the tree of life came down upon them for him, meaning Zeranpin, and the mitzvah, which is Malchut, the candle of the Creator, gripped them, and they will live, while the nations of the world and idol worshippers will burn in that candle. It is written about it, "Fear not, O Jacob my servant, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for I am with you." Upon their creation, Zon were unfit for Mochin, since Malchut de Tzimtzum Aleph, Malchut of the first restriction, is upon them, and she is unfit for reception of light. Thus there would be no persistence to Zon and to all the worlds that extend for them. Hence, for the world to be able to exist, the emanator raised Malchut to Bina, and she became one with Bina. And then Zon became fit for the Mochin. All this is if the lower ones go by a straight path. However, if the lower ones sin, there is permission to the Sitra Achra to cling to Zon and to disclose the Malchut de Tzimtzum Aleph that exists in the Kelim of Zon. At that time, all the lights depart, and as long as the Sitra Achra is attached to this Malchut and sucks from the place of deficiency in the Zon, there is no hope that Zon will be able to receive Mochin to bestow upon the worlds. Hence there is no other way to put to death the Sitra Achra that clung to Zon, and then it is possible for Zon to impart life upon the worlds once more. Also, those two come as one, because along with the correction of Zon to extend the life, the Sitra Achra die. When the name Havaya is corrected, meaning the Mochin de Zon, the Sitra Achra who are gripped to the place of their deficiency die. However, to put the Sitra Achra to death and to extend life to the Zon and the worlds is impossible before he is put to death in 4 deaths: stoning, burning, killing, and strangling. This is so because it is not completely annulled before it undergoes those 4 deaths. And the thing is that to bring the Mochin back to wholeness, 4 types of correction are required. The first correction is to separate it from the attachment to Malchut de Tzimtzum Aleph. Since as long as the Sitra Achra is attached there, it is impossible to even think of correction. This is done by trapping him, since Malchut is raised to Bina, where the Bina receives the dinim of Malchut. At that time, the Sitra Achra too is drawn to suckle from the deficiency in Bina, and leaves the deficiency in Malchut and parts from her. Since all the hopes of the Sitra Achra are to cling to the upper degrees, and when the Sitra Achra clings to the deficiency in Bina, Malchut is lowered from Bina, and Bina becomes whole again, and the Sitra Achra parts from the grip of Bina. This correction is called Zarka, since Malchut is Zorkim, is thrown up, so she will cling to Bina. It is also considered death by stoning because Malchut is called a stone, and throwing it up to cling to Bina falls on the head of the Sitra Achra, since by that he parts from Malchut de Tzimtzum, without which there is no possibility for any correction. The second correction is that after Malchut's descent from Bina, the left line comes out in her, and the Sitra Achra grips this illumination of the left once more, to draw it from above downwards. By that it blocks the lights once more, and the left cannot cling to the right. Thus a dispute is made between them, and by that it makes the lower ones sin. As it is written, they mounted up to the heaven, they went down to the deeps. To drive him out of there, a burning fire comes down from the left line of Bina, so that the Sitra Achra cannot approach to suckle from there. as it is written, "And the stranger who draws near shall be put to death." This correction is called death by burning to the Sitra Achra. However, this is still not sufficient for the left to unite with the right and for the lights to open. It is only enough to separate the Sitra Achra so it cannot suckle from the left, because it is a burning fire. The third correction. To open the lights, a correction of a middle line is required to diminish the gar of the left. At that time, the left surrenders and unites with the right. And since the middle line diminishes the gar of the left, the Sitra Achra is killed, since her entire livelihood is from adhesion to the left, as it is written, "For my sword has drunk its fill in heaven." The Masach Dehirik, which is the sword that diminishes the gar of the left, acts mainly in the heaven, the middle line, and above. But in the end, it shall come down upon Edom, meaning that with this sword, the Sitra Achra is killed, since her suckling is ruined. This correction is called death by killing, when the Sitra Achra is killed with a sword through the middle line. However, this still does not complete the annulment of the Sitra Achra, since the Sitra Achra is completely annulled only by the illumination of Chokhmah. And since it is the conduct of the middle line, Ziranpin, to extend only Chasadim, there still remains some power to the Sitra Achra, since it still has a place of deficiency in which to cling. The fourth correction, to completely throttle the Sitra Achra, a unification of Zeranpin and Malchut is required. This is so because the disclosure of Chokhmah is in Malchut and the place where Chasadim appear in Zeranpin. When they unite, Zeranpin and Malchut become one, and the illuminations of Chokhmah and Chasadim become one as well. And then the Sitra Achra is completely choked, for she no longer has an empty place and deficiency in Kedusha, in which to cling. This correction is called death by strangling, since the Sitra Achra is throttled by lack of breath from this Kedusha, and she passes away from the world, unless the lower ones relapse and revive the Sitra Achra through their iniquities. Thus we have explained the four deaths, stoning, burning, killing, and strangling, which the Sitra Achra must undergo for it to pass away from the world. We'll leave it at that there, friends. And we'll just say another, hello to anyone who's joined us since last time we were on. So, a big hello to who wasn't here with us before. Seems like just same folk. Couple of questions there. Don't really have time now to get into anything. Just got a couple of minutes left. Just say as well hello to Diana and Stephen from Michigan and David from Florida, who have all joined us on Facebook since we started. So hello to you all. It's been great being with you once again, and to read this loftiest of texts with you, where we draw the surrounding light and nourish this soul, this connection between all these points in the hearts between us. So we'll go out once again with a clip of Kabbalist Dr. Michael Laitman, who will discuss the goal of reading the Book of Zohar. Until next week, see you all later. Have a great week.
We see that the Zohar is actually talking about the same thing we're talking about always, to advance in the levels by the teacher, books, and the group, where a person reveals where he is broken, as it says, I created the evil inclination, what is that inclination, and what is what's called the Torah, which is the spice, the light that reforms. And this is how a person rises in levels from this world to the next world, from not knowing to knowing. Knowing here means coupling with the Creator. As it says, Adam knew Eve. And this is how he attains more and more knowledge of the Creator. And to the extent that he knows the Creator, he can become similar to the Creator, and by that he brings contentment to the Creator and becomes like him. And this is the goal that the Zohar places in front of us.